has been speaking to me in the night hours, over many nights and many months, of these things, of the likelihood of things that are to come to pass in the establishment and the prior establishment of God's end-time events. There are many who think that we do not go through a time of troubles or a time of distress. There will be wars and rumours of wars and distress of many nations and many increasing earthquakes and destruction of cities and great waves upon the sea, so that many ships and many will drown, and so on. And this is all in Revelation and in other places that Jesus speaks of. These are the words of Jesus himself, not only through the prophet John of Patmos, but he himself said, they will cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. And he himself said, there will be wars and rumours of wars. So this current age is coming to an end with the economic collapse of the West. We see that this is upon us. Argentina, Iceland, Russia, these now belatedly we see that these nations are part of the Western influence. They have run themselves mostly along Western advanced cultured lines. And this did not stop them from collapsing. My own picture is that God's first instruction to mankind has been defied, to increase and multiply. And at the end of history, the end of time, we have most fully violated and defied that instruction to the uttermost. We have instructed, the World Bank has instructed developing nations to decrease in order to multiply. But we have insufficient new young taxpayers coming along to pay for the pensions and to pay for the benefits and to pay for things. We just don't have enough economically active people as a reason to supply further things. It's the demand side of the economy in the West that has most collapsed. We have yet further to go down, and my own country is in a state of quiet, desperate distress. We are in a crisis that is barely being papered over by heavy, involved loans and so on, leading to greater indebtedness for our nations. And this is characteristic of the West, and was certainly characteristic of the situation in Argentina and in Iceland. And we can only imagine that it was very similarly so in Russia. Now in Russia, they have a shrinking population, and in Japan also. So we can expect that Japan will at some point rapidly decline. This has enormous repercussions in Asia for the rise of China. China is surrounded with empty lands: Siberia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, resource-rich, oil-rich lands, vast grasslands. China is short of fresh water, yet immediately to the north of Beijing is the world's largest freshwater lake, Lake Baikal, the deepest freshwater source you could possibly imagine, fed by the ice and the snow of Siberia. This situation, I say, is a building for a Hitlerian drama on the world island of Asia. The Third World War, and bigger, is building there. Tibet has already been incorporated into the body of China. Will Mongolia be next? And will Korea be annexed out of its difficulties? Or will China use it as an instrument to wage war by proxy on Japan? Taiwan is under threat. There was a war between China and Burma in the year 2007, little known to the world, involving regiments and battalions and artillery exchanges. This was a war. And China and India have had a war in 1962 or 3, and the Indians were soundly beaten. They have not forgotten that. We can be aware that a historical stoush must be building, a rivalry building between China and India